Welcome back. This is By the Book, and we're your married relationship coaches. I'm Cent.
I'm Sil.
And today we're talking about Love is Blind Season 3. We're through episode 10. Mm-hmm. We've already seen Raven and SK shock us at the altar. And I have been giving SK a horribly hard time because
he deserves it.
He on my list. So,
he deserves a hard time.
He deserves a hard time. Mm-hmm. But my husband and I, we just watched a clip. We'll show you a little bits of it in a bit. But where SK and Raven separately were talking about the split. This was on E! News. We'll also link it. We'll link it below in the description. But we knew that SK was having some issues with Raven, right? Like, I felt like you could see it, you could read it in his facial expressions during certain conversations that they were having.
Yeah.
And as he's expressing in the video, there were two main things for him that he felt like was giving him pause, and that ultimately, I guess, led to him saying no.
Yeah.
On that day, there were still outstanding things that we just saw differently, both of us.
I'm going back to grad school in the fall in California.
Oh.
Yeah.
Her schedule is crazy, and then for her to get on a flight and fly, it's going to be a lot for her.
I definitely don't want my quality of living to suffer.
I didn't feel at the moment that adding a marriage on top of that would help fix those differences. That's really what it came down to.
Right. So the one, as you can see, is that he felt like he was going to college, or he's going to grad school, and he was going to be gone for 2 years, and there wasn't a lot of flexibility in terms of her moving there with him, or like what was going to happen surrounding that situation. And of course, that seemed like a big deal. I think the issue for us anyway is that he didn't speak on it at the time. Like, he didn't, at least we didn't see it. If they edited it out, shame on production. But he didn't speak on his objection to it.
Correctamundo.
Yeah.
Exactly. When they were talking and he brought it up, she gave her feedback that she had no inclination on moving, and he was very quiet about it.
Right, he was quiet. Second thing, she wanted him to pay half of her rent if he was going to be out of town. Now, I thought at the time when she delivered that news to him that might actually cause some friction.
Yeah.
Between them. I was like, oh, okay, here comes the drama. Like, it's about to go down. Nothing. Radio silence from him. She said, I expect you to pay half of my rent. I think it's fair. I think she said, for him to pay half of her rent if she's going to be staying there. Which, to me, in my own head, just the way I work things out logically, it didn't make that much sense. I mean, maybe she feels like, just as a woman, she should be cared for in that way by her husband. There's nothing wrong with that. It just, in my practical head, I'm like, okay, this man is about to go to grad school. He's not going to have a lot of time to be working. And that money that he does make is probably going to be supporting whatever he's doing right where he is in school. Even though he doesn't have to pay for his tuition. I don't know what he's got to pay for housing, and he's got to pay for food. It probably travel.
Yeah.
Either he's going to travel back and forth to see her, or he's going to send for her to come to him, probably. So does he really have money to be paying her rent? I'm thinking probably not. So in my head, I thought maybe she was being a little bit impractical in terms of that.
It's up to him to say that at that particular time.
It is.
Because who knows? She could be thinking that he's the Prince of Zumbunda or something like that. and think, that he has his own money. Yeah. And so, of course you're going to pay this rent, right? So it was really his responsibility to say, no, I don't have it like that.
Yeah, he should have. That should have been a conversation that they had. And so at home here, my husband and I, we've been talking about it. And I think we even said it. I even said it in the last video we did on them. Like, he better say he had a conversation with her. And, we just didn't see it, because if he didn't explain that to her, if he wasn't transparent with that, I'm not okay, And then we cut to Raven and what she had to say.
So by the time that we got to our wedding, especially for me, I was just so confident that we could have like an amazing life together and really just be each other's best friends. That made me really confident going into it. And I think I kind of like maybe was a little too confident and didn't really come back to reality that, you know, my partner might be in a different place on.
She didn't know.
She didn't know about it. And that, I mean, that is horrible to me.
Yeah.
She said, I mean, if she took ownership of it, like, you know, I think I just didn't consider that he could have been, you know, in a different headspace than me. But to me, that said, unless they still lying on camera or something, which I don't think they were, you know, that said, he didn't have those hard conversations with her. And that's too bad, because that is a humiliating experience that she had to deal with because of him, because of his lack of communication.
Exactly.
You can't have that bad of a failure to communicate. Like, that's wild to me.
Exactly. He let her ride into that church, it looked like a church, and all the way up to that altar, thinking that they were good and that both of them were going to say yes.
Yeah.
She had no inclination, no doubts, no nothing that what was about to happen to her. And that was so wrong and so unfair. I can't believe that she actually had a conversation with him after that, because if it was me, like you no longer exist,
I would have slashed him tires. But no. So this is the thing. It seems like they might still be together.
It did kind of seem like that.
Right now, Raven and I are just taking it one day at a time. We are in good terms. You know, we talked after the wedding, and yeah.
We have been through a lot together, and that's all I'm gonna say.
I bet you they still talk. I bet, like, not talk, but like talk. You know?
Raven is a very forgiving woman. Then.
She is. But I mean, she seemed not to be off put by it. I feel like her attitude would have been different if they were done. You know, he let on and she let on that they were still, you know, working things out one day at a time, things like that. I think they may be together. And if that's the case, I don't know how they did it.
Yeah. I don't know about together, though. You know, it's very good for a man to keep things kind of in a limbo state. And so... And if they're working it out, you know, that one of those type things, they're figuring it out, then it kind of like keeps him or them kind of like entangled with one another. Yeah. And without it actually progressing, because guess what? A couple relationship is always going to have its issues. And so as long as we have issues, we can still figure it out, and nothing ever gets resolved. The relationship never grows, but yet the man gets what he wants.
So you saying he just as trash as any other?
I think he is big time trash.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think he is too. I thought you were gonna have his back a little bit more.
I ain't got his back.
I don't know about that as far as playing her, but just reading their like body language and what they said, it seems like they might be together. I don't know if that was like a little teaser or a spoiler or whatever you want to call it. But you guys let us know what you think. Y'all look at the video. Look at it from start to finish, not just the clips we showing. And give your fair assessment of what you think happened there. Yeah. Because I don't see how she got over it. I don't see how they could be friends. He must have put it on her something wicked, boy.
Well, no.
Anyway, guys, on that note, drop those comments below. Like, share, and subscribe. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.